Hi, everyone. Welcome to our November 2025 energy update. I'm so excited. Shout out to all of you joining live with me on TikTok and on YouTube. Yes, in fact, I am live on both, just like last month. Super excited for that. I think it's fun to be able to do both, just to be able to have different people on different streaming platforms, on different social media platforms, being able to join live. So today we're going to jump right into November's energy. I'm very excited about it. We are only 2 months away from 2026, which is wild. And obviously, for those of you who are watching this, you probably already know that January is not the new year, March is. But obviously, in our systemic society, we have a new year, January 1st system on the calendar. So it's neither here nor there. We know that the new year technically starts in spring in March, but we got 2 more months until the calendar new year is here. And we've got a lot to talk about. So thank you for joining me. Let me know who's joining and where you're from. If you're joining on TikTok or on YouTube, this is where I go live every single first of the month at 1:11 p.m. Eastern time, which I will admit that I am a little late today. So bear with me. Thank you for your patience. But I go live every first of the month at 1:11 p.m. Eastern time to give you an energy update of the month's energy, where we pull cards, we talk about the astrology, I channel some messages, and we just discuss what is to come in November, or what is to come in that month that we're talking about, which this one happens to be November. And what can we expect, and how are we best to navigate November with the energy that we know is already going to be present. And so I'm super excited. If you are here, please tap, tap, tap. Send some love, send some hearts, send some 111s in the comments. Let me know that you're here, you're ready to receive. We're only going to be on here for maybe 30 minutes or so. And we're going to cover a lot. We're going to cover the main themes of November, which, if you were able to watch my first annual live this year, the annual card reading of 2025, where I pulled a card for every single month of 2025, then you may already know that November's card is love. Now, October's card was healing, and we talked last month about how we were going to release the cycles that were not leading to our healing, that we were going to release the relationships, the interactions, the energies that are not in alignment to our healing. That was our focus for October. So how did you do? Did you release those things? I will admit that I have not. No, I have. I've released a lot. I've learned a lot about myself this October. I've healed a lot. And I think that there's probably more work to be done. But there's always more work to be done, right? Like, that's something that I always want to encourage you all to know, especially when it comes to spiritual wellness. There's always more work to be done, and that's okay. It's totally normal. And also, there's always more to be healed. There's always better ways to navigate things. And I don't want you to be discouraged by that. I want you to be encouraged by that. I want you to be empowered by that and excited to continue to grow and to love yourself from where you're at and to love yourself unconditionally. So, if you are having a hard time letting that somewhat toxic relationship go, it's okay. Do your best and just know the overall principle that that is not a healthy relationship, that it needs to go at some point, and that you get to every day focus on working towards releasing that thing. Or maybe it's an unhealthy thought pattern, or an unhealthy belief system, or an unhealthy environment you're in, or an unhealthy behavior or habit that you have. Okay. Whatever it is, know that you have time to fix it. But October was the month where you were being encouraged to really do a lot of deep diving into what was unhealthy and start to do the things necessary to get rid of that stuff. And for me personally, on a physical level, I am entering November with this 30-day cleaning up my diet, my habits with everything that I consume. And so I'm doing a no sip November, I'm doing a no smoke November, and I'm doing a no bad stuff for my body November, essentially. And I'm doing my best with it. I tend to get very rigid and very intense with my disciplines, and I'm doing my best to not get so rigid that it's like not good for me. And so I had a whole list written out of like no alcohol, no smoking, no gluten, no dairy, no sugar, no, all these things. And yes, yes, yes to all these things. And I looked at it today and it just felt like it wasn't coming from all the way from a space of love, which love is our card for November. And so I had to really look at that and say, you know what? Let me be a little more loving to myself and just say no to the things that I know that I really don't want to do this month. And then the stuff that is like probably good to cut out, but not so necessary to be so strict about, I'm going to be a little bit more graceful with myself. I'm not going to try to put myself in prison over, trying to detox or trying to clean up my diet. I actually eat very clean. So that's just an example of what I want you all to move into with from October into November, because we did see a lot of stuff in October that showed us what wasn't really good for us, that we were still consuming or experiencing or entertaining. And that can sometimes feel very intimidating and very overwhelming when we try to take all of that on at once and say, we're going to clean up all of this at once. It's like if you walk into a hoarder's house and you're like, oh my gosh, this all needs to be cleaned up today. No, it's going to take weeks. But the intention and the choice to clean that stuff up and to make that a priority focus can still be there, right? And is still there. And it doesn't have to be so, you don't have to put so much pressure on yourself to get it done at a certain time. Just do something every day towards it. Okay. Does that make sense? Tap, tap, tap if that makes sense. Tap, tap, tap if you're following me. Hey, Moonchild, thanks for all the love. Hey, Angie. Hey, Goddess. Hey, Cosmic Poet. Love that name. What's up? What's up? Hello, who? Hi, Dylan. Hi, Ovo. Hi, Simone. Hi. Who do I have on YouTube? Let me know who I have on YouTube as well. I'm looking at my TikTok peeps here. Hi, Anne. Hi, Riddell. Moonchild was loving this live so much I couldn't even find anybody else on here. I love that. Thank you. Hey, Golden Aura. Hey, Leaving Single. Yes. Hey, Quantum. Hey, Adapt. Hey, I am Fear Hawk. Yes. Good to see you all. Let me know where you're joining from as well. Hey, Emily. So being that October was healing, that was the card for healing. What did you start healing? What did you start putting energy towards for your healing? What habits did you start to let go of? What things did you start to release that you know will benefit your healing, right? And now that we move into November, we get to really show up in love. And love is going to be a result of the healing. The more that we heal, the more love we give to ourselves and the more love that we are welcoming in from others and from source, because we're following what source wants us to do to be in our best version of ourself and of our life. And as a result, source is going to continue to shower us with more and more love. And really, November's card for love is so powerful because I just did a video. I did a live on Monday for More Love Mondays. We're doing More Love Mondays every single Monday now. I actually have a special guest coming on this upcoming Monday, a male guest who's going to talk about love and what his experience has been recently as a man in this world with so much going on. And so that'll be really fun on Monday. But More Love Monday this last week, I talked about the difference between self-love, self-sacrifice, and self-sabotage, and how they all connect to each other. Oftentimes we ignore our self-love and choose to self-sacrifice, and then it results in self-sabotage. And then also sometimes we could self-sabotage ourselves through acts of love that are overdone, or just not really aligned. And so, um, yeah, there's just a lot of nuances to that. And I really enjoyed that conversation. And I think that it's so relevant today because being November 1st, we just got done with Halloween yesterday, which was Samhain, which was the thinning of the veil. We're still in the thinning of the veil where we're able to see spirit, feel spirit more potently. And I encourage you to do things that will help you to connect even more to spirit at this time. But love is really for us to receive this month. And the more that we can feel into what kind of love do you want to receive? What kind of love are you seeking in your life right now? Is it self-love? Is it romantic love? Is it platonic love? Is it familial love? And how are you setting yourself up for success to receive that love, right? And the more that we allow that focus and reflection to take hold of us over this month, the more we will see where our healing relates to the love that we're receiving, and how the more healing we do, the more love we receive in the ways that we want to receive it. Does that make sense? Tap, tap, tap if that makes sense. Yes. Hello, Harmony. Hi from Reunion Island. Where is Reunion Island? I've never heard of Reunion Island. Safe Havens Creative Space. Hello, Rissa. Hi, good to see you. Shout out to all of you that show up on YouTube. I have been doing YouTube readings every single Sunday. I did that every single Sunday, every week for 5 years. Then I took, a 2 or 3 year break. And now I do the energy updates every month. So shout out to all of you who have been on my YouTube for so long and just continually show up. You're like the OGs, and I love you so much. So thank you so much. And I'm going to get back on making really cool little thumbnails for my monthly updates and all that. I just I haven't done it. I need a virtual assistant, y'all. If you're a virtual assistant, if you like to make things like that, if you have ideas even for my thumbnails or stuff, I am receiving help, y'all, because I just don't enjoy doing that stuff. I don't enjoy doing it. I just don't enjoy doing it. I don't. So if you want to do that for me, let me know. I will graciously receive. But anyway, so love for November. November is the 11th month, and the 11 number, 1111, is so related to divine love and divine union. The 11 is two mirrors, two parallel lines, or two energies looking at each other, eye gazing, or it can be you looking at yourself in the mirror. It's all about alignment. It's all about alignment and coming together, being next to each other, aligned on the same path, focused on the same things, moving in the same direction. And so I really do feel like November is an opportunity for us to align to love. And a lot of you are going to be meeting partners in November. A lot of you are going to be connecting to deeper parts of yourself and falling more in love with deeper parts of yourself in November. A lot of you are going to be meeting soul tribe and friends that you feel like you've had past lives with that are just so perfectly placed in your life at this time. A lot of you are going to feel more clarity on what it is that your path is and how to walk it. And it's going to be so beautiful. So this is the month where love takes over, and November is going to be so powerful for that. How many of y'all are calling in a partner in November? Any of you calling in a romantic partner? Maybe you've been single for a while, or celibate, or abstinent, and now you're like, I'm ready to date. I'm ready to connect with a partner. If you are one of those people, you got some really good potential this month. There's a really good chance you'll meet a partner this month, or a rekindling of something in the past comes into play, something like that. There's going to be an opportunity for specifically romantic love this month. So I'm super excited for all of you who are looking for that, because it's not too far away. It's literally this month. We are here now. Okay. Now we're also moving into 2026, which is going to be a 10-year. 2 + 2 + 6 is 10, 1, 0. So it's actually going to be a 1 year, which is really the mark of a new beginning. 2025 this year has been a 9 year. So a lot of completions and endings. So we're going to notice that between now and the end of the year, we are going to be cleaning up loose ends, finishing up incomplete projects, tidying up energy that hasn't been super clear or clean or pure. And we're going to put an end to the things that are not meant to carry on with us. This is an end of a chapter. This whole year has been an end of a 9-year, 10-year cycle. So if you think about what you were doing 9 years ago, odds are that a lot of the things you were doing 9 years ago, what was that? 2014, 2015, 2016. A lot of that energy from 2015 and 2016 and where you were at in your life and what things you were doing and who you were engaging with and all of that. A lot of that is coming full circle for the last 2 months of this year. And a lot of the things that were representative of that chapter in 2015 is closing out here in 2025. And a new chapter is beginning in 2026. And so this is also a really great month for you to start to think about, what do you want in this next chapter of your life? After all of these endings are complete and the healing has taken place, what do you want moving forward? What do you want in the next 10 years of your life? Ask yourself that for real. Take some time this month at some point to ask yourself, what do you want for the rest of your life? What is this next chapter, this next 10 years of your life? What do you want to see happen in your life? And you can put it in the chat if you want, if you already know, if you're already clear. But if you're not clear on it, take the time to focus on that this month, okay? Because it's going to give you so much clarity, and it's going to help you actually build a plan and create a blueprint. It's going to be really, really great. So do that. Now let's pull a little bit more of, let's pull a card for a little bit more clarity on, I'm going to pull from this deck, since this is the card deck that I used to get the annual card reading card for November. This deck is so cool. It's like an African tarot deck, or not tarot, but it's like an African oracle deck. How's everybody feeling, by the way? I didn't even ask how you're feeling. How are y'all feeling today? Did y'all dress up for Halloween? Did you do anything fun? If you have kids, what were they dressed up as for Halloween? What did you dress up as? Have you seen any ghosts or any spirits since the veil is so thin? Like, how are we doing? How are we doing? What love are you calling in? What energy are you excited to connect to this month? Okay, what is the card for November in relation to love? Oh. We're getting somewhere. These cards are coming out with, they're coming out swinging, these cards. I'm just going to ask for, there we go, one more. Okay. I'm going to ask for one more. Let's actually do one of these. Sorry, the cards are telling me a story right now, and I want to get the full story before I share. And then we'll talk about the astrology as well. Okay. Beautiful. Beautiful. Okay, now we got the story. Okay. So I asked the cards, what are you wanting us to know about love in November? And it's saying the culture of pettiness. Let me fix my screen here on TikTok. The culture of pettiness is what Spirit wants us to address in regards to love in November. Now, this is like, wow, the culture of pettiness. That is absolutely so on point. I mean, when we think about love, specifically romantic love in our society, there is a intense culture of pettiness. What is pettiness? Let's look it up. I want to get the real definition of pettiness because this is something to really pay attention to. What is the culture of pettiness? What does petty mean? Pettiness means, come on. Pettiness means undue concern with trivial matters, especially of small-minded or spiteful nature. Undue concern, unwarranted concern, okay? Undue means unwarranted. Pettiness is unwarranted concern with trivial matters, especially of small-minded or spiteful nature. Now, isn't that so much of what we see in our culture around love? These unwarranted concerns with trivial matters. People get petty about the smallest things. Somebody could be petty about the way that somebody, like if a man buys a petty woman flowers, and those flowers aren't her favorite flowers, or he hasn't asked her what her favorite flowers is, but he buys her this beautiful big bouquet of roses, but her favorite flowers are lilies. And she's like, but you didn't buy me lilies though. What's wrong with you? Right? How dare you disrespect me and not even care about asking me what kind of flowers I'd like? This is messed up. You're lame. You didn't ask me what kind of flowers I like. You bought me roses, but I like lilies. That's petty. Okay? That's petty. Same thing with if a man is, waiting for a woman to get ready on a date, and she's taking a little longer because she's really trying to get the right outfit for this date she's going on with this guy. And the guy sets his clock for 15 minutes because she said she'll be ready in 15 minutes. And 15 minutes after 7 comes around and he looks at his clock. It's now 7:16 and he leaves. That's petty. She wasn't ready in 15 minutes. I'm not waiting any longer. Goodbye. Petty, unwarranted concern over trivial matters. Being a few minutes late to a restaurant is not that big of a deal. Buying the wrong flowers, but still getting you flowers is a pretty beautiful gesture. Not that big of a deal to create so much unwarranted concern. It's very small-minded, very spiteful, not so very demure. Okay, not so cutesy. So we are being called to address the culture of pettiness in love in our world with a steadfast energy, meaning with a hurry, quick and in a hurry. This means don't delay paying attention to how you're showing up as petty or how other people in your life are showing up as petty. We got to hurry up and clear the culture of pettiness. We're done with the culture of pettiness and we need to be steadfast, because what Spirit is saying is that as November continues to express itself right now, we are aligning. Remember, 1111 is an alignment number. 11 is an alignment number. So we're aligning to more love by addressing the culture of pettiness, addressing the pettiness culture, and steadfastly getting rid of it Through how? Through truth and integrity. So truth and integrity is doing the right thing even when nobody's looking, telling the truth even when you don't have to, or you could get away with a lie. Even though you could get away with a lie, you are meant to tell the truth. Even though you could delay the inevitable, you are meant to be steadfastly addressing the pettiness. So ask yourself, are you petty? Are you petty in love? Are you nitpicky? Are you ungrateful? Do you show undue concern with trivial matters out of a spiteful nature? And if you do, this is what's keeping you from love, true love. And November wants to give you true love, but you've got to clear the pettiness. And if you do the scan on yourself and you're like, you know what, I don't think I am petty. I feel like I'm really patient, but I do tend to run into petty people, and I do tend to have a lot of petty people in my life that tell me that they love me, but then they do these really petty things. That's not love. That's not truth and integrity. So with steadfast focus, you get to clear out that petty energy in people by calling them out, bringing it to their attention, giving them the opportunity to correct it or change it, but not expecting that they will. And putting the boundaries up necessary that are necessary for you to create distance with them. Because love, true love, is not meant to be petty. True love is not meant to be spiteful. And so we get to release that. We get to release that. No more pettiness culture. No more. No more pettiness culture. That is keeping us from love. So with steadfast focus, we're clearing the pettiness culture by staying true and integritous about how we feel, what we see, and what we're meant to do as a result. So be honest with yourself and follow through with what that truth is guiding you to do. Have truth and integrity, because that's what's going to lead to your serenity. And serenity is peace. It's stillness. It's simplicity. It's ease. It's observation of the beautiful, positive things. We're meant to feel this serenity, but we can only feel it in love when we eliminate pettiness culture and instead we align to truth and integrity. So how are you aligning to truth and integrity? And what is your truth right now? What is your truth right now when it comes to love? Do you actually want a relationship? And if you do, are you actually ready for one? Or do you know that if you were to get in a relationship right now, you would be that petty person? You haven't done the healing from October to clear you of that pettiness. So now you've got to do it quickly if you want November's love energy to bring you true love and serenity. Okay, does this make sense? 111 in the chat if this makes sense. Tap, tap, tap if you're liking what you're hearing so far, if this is resonating. Yeah, Juicy. Wow, for sure. So how are you going to take a stand? And this is also, I'm hearing so clearly, how many of y'all have friends? Maybe you're not even petty. Maybe you're not even dealing with petty people. Maybe you've been really clear of that. But you've got a friend who keeps calling you, telling you all about their sexcapades and their dating life and their experiences, and they're always popping off about somebody because they're so petty about it, or they're dealing with petty people. Get that out of your life. Don't listen to those people as much anymore, because that's still seeping into your consciousness. Cut off all toxic people out of your life. Yeah, safe haven. Yes. We're done with the pettiness. We're done with that culture. We are only welcoming in truth and integrity and serenity. Now, I will say some people will respond emotionally about things. Some people will have an emotional response. Doesn't necessarily mean they're petty. They may just feel hurt. Pettiness is like the spitefulness. It's like they're trying to hurt you. They're trying to get under your skin. They're trying to offend you because they're offended by something silly that maybe you didn't even intentionally do, but now they're intentionally trying to hurt you because of it. They're intentionally trying to make you feel away. That's pettiness. That's different than somebody feeling hurt or offended by something you've done or didn't do, or feeling like their feelings are hurt and then responding emotionally. But then when you bring it to them and you have a real conversation about it, they're able to take accountability truthfully and follow through and do the right thing and reach a state of peace with you. That's different. Okay. That's okay. I'm going to face my trauma head on and realize that I can't run. I need to express. Yes, Juicy. Yes, absolutely. Face that trauma head on. No more running. Be expressive of your truth and follow through with that. And there will be so much benefit as a result. Okay. So now that we know that the love card for November is welcoming in more love, romantic love, platonic love, familial love, that is pure love, self-love, that is pure and beautiful and rich and exciting and exhilarating and fulfilling and satisfying and nurturing and expanding and encouraging and uplifting. There's so much of that love ready to come in for November. But in order for us to tap into it, we've got to release the pettiness culture that we're entertaining, and any of the culture of pettiness that we're entertaining in our own relationships, in our connection with others, or in just entertaining it and listening to it in our friends and other families. And we get to step into truth in order to find serenity. So now that we know that, let's look at the astrology for November. What do we got for November? Well, first of all, I want to mention one thing. Let me go back to October real quick, October's astrology, because we have a full moon happening soon. Where is it at? Let's see. Full moon should be happening in November. So let me see. Because I can feel the full. How many of y'all can feel the full moon? It's like here. It's intense. Okay, so it's on the 5th. We have a full moon in Taurus on the 5th of November. Okay, so I'll talk about that in a second. But right before that, we have Mars entering Sagittarius on November 4th. This is going to be where we start to really tap into our warrior energy. And we really start to get super focused and dialed in and locked in on a target in order to clear what is in the way of our highest good. This is on a planetary level. So this can be personal, this can be community, this can be the whole entire planet, the nation. Mars entering Sagittarius. Sagittarius is the archer, right? It's lining up the shot. Sagittarius is also very, very, it can be impulsive, so it can take the shot really quickly once it knows it's time. It's also social and expressive. And so we may feel like we need to call some people out. We may feel like we need to call some people out in November that haven't been operating in pure integrity, pure truth, who've been operating in pettiness, and therefore have not been operating out of true love. We may feel called to call some people out, and we may feel called to act on what we're seeing that is not in alignment in November 4th specifically. Now, as we move into that, this is an ideal time for risk-taking and adventures. It's got this sense of independence as well, where you don't need anybody to agree with you. You don't even need anybody to work with you to call things out. You're just going to see something and call it out, and you're just going to not have any. You're not gonna have any regrets. Okay, you're not gonna have any regrets. Hey, Kevin, good to see you. Yes. Hey, Angel Guides. Yes, I got my YouTube family and my TikTok family. Oh, I love it. I'm going live on TikTok, y'all, too, for this energy update. So November 4th, Mars enters Sagittarius in preparation for the full moon in Taurus on November 5th. And we are going to be feeling this inspiration to call things out how we see it and to really call out the pettiness in the world. And it's going to be all for the purpose of connecting to truth and integrity so that the world becomes more peaceful and so that our lives become more peaceful. So with that being said, we're going to lock in on the target on the 4th of November on what we need to call out or what we might want to do to inspire more truth and integrity and clear the energy of pettiness. And then in that full moon in Taurus, which I'm already feeling, it's very intense, we're evaluating our investments, our energetic investments, our time investments, our money investments. How have we been putting time and energy into things? And what have we been investing our time and energy into? What have we been investing our heart energy into? What have we been investing our love energy into? You're going to do kind of an inventory of that on the full moon. And you're going to ask yourself, what investments have flourished and what investments have shriveled up and died? And this is going to be really good because this is going to show you where your focus has been helping you and harming you. Because you might have had some distractions that have kept you from the harvest of some things. And pettiness is one of the biggest distractions. You know, when somebody is petty with you, it almost like pulls all of your energy into that situation, and you feel just so compelled to defend yourself and retaliate and argue. And that is like the biggest distraction from what it is you're meant to be focusing on. So I also want you to keep that in mind. So that was just a side note. But this is where you get to celebrate your personal harvest and begin planning for the year ahead. This is kind of where harvest season stops and winter starts. So now that you've harvested everything, the wisdom, the healing, the clarity, the new focus, and the love, now you get to take all of that and do something with it. Hold it for yourself. You know, help it, have it hibernate with you in preparation for what is to come in spring. So you're going to start planting new seeds in this full moon in Taurus, okay, on November 5th. Then Venus enters Scorpio on November 6th, and Uranus retrogrades in Taurus on November 7th. And so this is where we're going to kind of notice that the planet of love, being Venus, is in Scorpio, which is kind of more of the reclusive, darker, deeper, mystical energy. You're going to start to see that, okay, we are deepening into we're going into the depths of intimacy. We're going into the depths of love. This is where we may start to ask deeper questions of our partners or loved ones. We may start to have deeper conversations that lead to maybe some dark truths or unexpected mysteries revealed, but that actually bring us closer and deeper in intimacy. And we may even feel more open to love because we've become more vulnerable, because we've allowed ourselves to go deeper, which is really great. And so in November 6th and 7th, we're going to notice that that is a time for us to finally release the toxic energy, not be afraid of the darkness, not be afraid of the vulnerability, not be afraid of the shadows, but be able to really see them for what they are, see the pettiness for what it is, see the toxic energy for what it is, see the insecurities for what they are, see the things that are holding us back for what they are. And it's going to give us an opportunity to actually release those things and fix it. And then as a result, we're going to feel more energy, right? When we let things go, we get more space in our hands to grab new things. And the new thing we're going to be grabbing is this energy of our desire. Okay? Our desire. while also making sure we don't get caught up in any deception of our desire. So November is going to be a really interesting month, even in the stars, where we get to do a lot of work of sifting through what is love and what isn't love, and aligning more to the truth of what love is and not the fake aspects of love, like pettiness. Okay. November 8th, we have a new moon in Scorpio. That's when the Scorpio season is really going to take its hold. It's going to feel a little bit chaotic post all the retrogrades we will have. But this is also our rebirth of shedding new skin and stepping into more transitional and transformational change. Okay. This is where the soul searching comes in. And we're going to start to really recognize what we need to do to change our lives for the better for 2026. Okay. This is going to be a really good new moon. We're going to be able to get really witchy with it. So I definitely encourage you to do some really dope rituals and new moon rituals and things like that. Your birthday was October 26th. It's Scorpio season. Happy birthday, Kevin. Yes. Happy birthday. I don't think my iPad's doing the little heart thing anymore. I don't know what happened. Why isn't it doing it? Remember when it did that? What's going on? What happened? What happened? MacBook. But yay, happy birthday. That's so exciting. Yeah, Scorpio season is just one of those seasons that you just can't run from. You can't run from anything. You can't hide from anything in Scorpio season, okay? And you can't hide anything from a Scorpio or really run from a Scorpio when it wants you. Which can be a little creepy. That's where we get those stalker Scorpios. But I know none of y'all are that way, so we'll move on. But yeah, so new moon in Scorpio on the 8th. This is going to be a rebirth, lots of soul searching in order to transform your life and get ready for 2026. You're going to get a lot of clarity around love, pettiness, shadow work, what changes need to be made to align to the truth and integrity of yourself, of your life, of your path, and of the love in it. November 9th, Mercury retrograde is in Sagittarius. So we start another retrograde right after with Mercury. And this isn't going to be a time to travel. It's not going to be a time to run away. Again, like I said, Scorpio season is not the season to run. You got to confront and face things. Do not run away. Confront and face things to move through them fully. Okay. And then November 11th, Jupiter retrogrades in Cancer. So then we have another retrograde, this time with Jupiter, the planet of luck. Okay. The planet of luck is Jupiter. It's going to be retrograding in Cancer, the sensitive waters of Cancer. Okay. I'm a Cancer moon, so I understand. I'd be taking things too personally all the time. So this is going to create a little tension around our roots and what is our foundation and what our true stability is based off of. And, our foundational relationships, our foundational beliefs, our foundational characteristics are going to be a little challenged here. Okay. And, but that's okay. That's okay. We're going to get through it. This is going to be an opportunity to gain new insight. Remember, stay positive. What is this helping you with? What is this helping you to do? Is it helping you to clear out things so that you can welcome in more love? Is it helping you to lean into more love that's already here and see it for what it is? What is it helping you to do? Right. And, there's going to be some cool wisdom that comes through too. On November 11th, remember that's kind of the 11/11 portal is really when we're going to be feeling the intensity of clearing out the pettiness and welcoming in the love. And so I really want you on the 11/11 portal, especially after that new moon in Scorpio on the 8th, to just allow yourself to feel what feels true to you. Because whatever feels truest to you is where your authenticity is in this moment. And then ask yourself if that truth and that authenticity is one that you're meant to act on, or the one that you're meant to just observe and note for later. Okay. And then we have the 15th of November We have the 15th of November. I'm going to move through this kind of quickly, y'all, because I got to go soon. Vesta enters Capricorn. This is where we really start to get the fire under our booty to build the life we want after doing all of that intense self-reflection, okay? Is that a valid question, asking what the arrow is? What the arrow is, what the arrow is. What are you referring to? Oh, I'm a Leo, moon is an Aquarius, and the arrow is Aquarius. What is the arrow? Oh, the arrow is your ascension. If it's an arrow up, it's probably your ascending, your rising sign. So you're a rising Aquarius. Rising means that the more you mature, the more you turn into that sign, the more you express characteristics of that sign. Sorry, whoever I invited to join, I did not mean to. Sorry. Please don't join. Does that make sense? Yes, Juicy, no problem. Yep. So rising sign is our way that we become more ourselves. The more that we mature, the more we become that sign. All right. So yeah, building a life we're proud of with Vesta entering Capricorn, more groundedness with Capricorn, more planning, getting ready for 2026. Mercury retrogrades in Scorpio. The Mercury retrograde progresses into Scorpio season on November 18th, right before Scorpio season ends. That's going to make it more intense, more creative, and also more secretive. We may notice that some of the things that we are communicating are still being misunderstood because of that Mercury retrograde, but that there's also these mysteries and these things that aren't being said that are creating misunderstandings as well. It might be hard to see the truth because of that secrecy. So try not to figure things out too much around the 18th. Wait until things move forward a little bit more. Now we have a second new moon. We have a second moon let me see. Yeah, we have a second new moon in Scorpio on the 19th. Okay. We have a second new moon in Scorpio on the 19th. Okay. Which is interesting because I don't think this is right. That would be the full moon. That would be the full moon. It would be a full moon in Scorpio on the 19th. I'm going to have to double check that, y'all, because this is confusing. I don't know why there'd be a second new moon. We're going to have to check that. We're going to have to fact check that. I've never had this be wrong, but where's the full moon? We're going to find out. I believe the 19th would be the full moon because we just we have a full moon on the 5th, then we have a new moon on the 8th, and then we should have another new moon, or another full moon on the 19th, okay? Which is in Scorpio. And that is going to help us release the old and embrace the new highest calling, okay? Looking at our past self as well. And then we have the sun entering Sagittarius. Sagittarius season starts on the 21st. And this is where we're going to feel adventurous and free. We're going to start to feel like, okay, we've done a lot of the heavy lifting and weight of all the healing in October, the self-reflective work in November to let more love in and sift through what that actually means. And then we're going to slow down into Sagittarius and step into some adventure and some exciting new ideas and free expressions. We're going to feel very optimistic, generous, impulsive on that Sagittarius season. Then on the 27th, Saturn direct in Pisces. This is where the year really starts to feel like it's coming to a close. We're going to feel planted firmly on the ground. We're feeling like we're creating this foundation for a launch pad of success in January. And so we want to focus on what is in our control and do the work to build towards what we want to create from that. And then Mercury retrograde ends on the 29th of November. It goes direct in the season of Scorpio, or in Scorpio, in the zodiac of Scorpio, after we've just transitioned out of Scorpio season. And this is where the weeks of confusion and sifting through things and trying to figure things out and trying to align appropriately to all the things we're trying to align to in November is going to finally come to a close. And we're going to get the clarity that we wanted that helps us to see what is true, what is integritous, and what do we want to continue to experience, knowing that. And this is where you want to check in with your emotions too, work on rebuilding bonds that you feel like took a little bit of a hit as you were trying to sift through stuff. Because during November, I really do feel like there'll be moments where you're kind of like, this person is not good for me, or they're a little petty. They're not really coming from a good place. And maybe you call them out and you tell them about themselves and they maybe get a little upset and the energy is off. But then as you continue to do self-reflection work and as they do as well, both of you may come to a clarity of like, oh, actually, I really love having you in my life. And I'm sorry, I was petty. I didn't mean to be. Thank you for bringing that to my attention. I see now so much more of why you're in my life and how much you care to hold me accountable to my highest self. And let's be friends again. So it's going to be kind of like, there's going to be some things that happen that maybe pull you away from people throughout November, only to be even closer at the end of it. Okay. So that's going to happen and become more clear on the 29th. So don't throw people away in November. Just be honest with what you're seeing and give it a chance to settle and shift. And then at the end of November, you may see that you reconnect even stronger than before. And then finally, on November 30th, Venus enters Sagittarius in relation to love specifically, since love is our main card for November 2025. Relationships will become more adventurous. We're going to feel like we're more capable of finding our better halves, or we're creating a life with them. And we're going to be taking a less traveled road. We may have some more some unorthodox types of relationships or unorthodox types of roles and relationships that really feel good and balanced and completely aligned. So we may have a completely new definition of what love is and what love looks like, especially after we release that pettiness culture and step into more truth and integrity and serenity. So this is exciting. This is a really, really great thing. Okay. We're really, really getting ready for some big shifts in November after we've done the healing work in October. And I'm just excited. I'm ready. I'm ready for the end of this year. I'm ready for a new chapter. I'm ready for the endings of this 9-year to be finally really done. Right? Because I feel like we've just been noticing the things we need to change and noticing the chapters we need to close and noticing the relationships we need to end and noticing the thoughts we need to stop thinking and the things we need to stop doing and the environments we need to stop entertaining. We've been noticing all of this in all year of 2025. And we've been doing the work. And now we're coming to the point where we're finally going to be free of all this stuff. And it took longer than we thought to get rid of it. It took longer than we thought to have the courage to cut it off. Took longer than we thought to really train the mind to stop doing those things that it always was doing before that wasn't good for it. But we're almost there. We're so close. We're so close. So tap, tap, tap if you feel so close. Tap, tap, tap if you're excited for this next month. And if you want more information about November's energy for you personally, feel free to go to my website, www.rissavibes.com, and book a reading, one-on-one reading with me. You can do a 6-month forecast. You can do a general reading. You can do a past life reading even if you want. Whatever you feel called to, or an energy cleanse that will help you to be prepared for this new chapter that's coming as a result of this final endings of November and December, okay? And we only covered November today. So on December 1st, I'll be back here at 1:11 p.m. Eastern time to talk about December's energy, the last month of 2024. But in the meantime, do the work to address what parts of you and what parts of other people that you're entertaining that are petty, okay? And get rid of that pettiness quickly. No more pettiness. Give people your truth and integrity, because that's what's going to cause serenity. That's going to cause peace. And make sure that you only mess with people that are willing to be truthful and honest and follow through with you on the things that you all are working towards. Okay. I love you so much. This has been so fun. Thanks for joining on YouTube. For all of you on YouTube that joined, thank you so much. And for those of you on TikTok that joined, thank you so much as well. I love you so much. I will be back on live on TikTok for More Love Monday at 12 p.m. Eastern time. It's going to be awesome. I'm going to have a man on with me who's going to give me some insights on love and what that means for him as a man, a divine masculine in this society, and what he has to say. And we're going to just have a talk. So it's going to be really cool. I'm going to do more in interviews like that. So be prepared for that as well. But I will see you all very soon. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I love you so much. Make sure to go to my website, www.rissavibes.com. And also, I'm going to be dropping a new song on 11/11 to bring in more love into your life and to align to that theme of love in November. So be on the lookout for that as well on my music platforms, Spotify, Apple Music, all the things. And I did just recently release the song Prayed Up, which was my kind of Halloween-y type vibe, protection mantra prayer in a song. It goes hard, it's trappy, it's deep, it's a little mysterious, it's a little bit eerie and creepy, but it's super, super potent for protecting yourself from any demonic dark energies. So definitely listen to that. I also released the song Question the month before that on 9/9 Portal, all about releasing the situationship that's making you question their love. We don't need that. None of that. Okay. And then I also released a song on 8/8 called I Got It. And that was really cool. That was like a self-empowerment, F you to the haters type vibe. So if any of those feel like the type of mood you're in or that you want to jump into, go to my music on Apple Music, Spotify, Google Play, all the things, YouTube Music, and stream any of those songs. They're all my recent singles. So check that out. All right, y'all. I love you so much. Thanks for joining for another energy update. Rissa Vibes here, signing out. I will see you again soon. Love you so much. Bye. Bye, y'all.